Hello friends, welcome to another video of TradeLikeFxmakk. In this video we are going to understand liquidity. As the term suggests, liquidity, liquidating someone. And hopefully I don't need to explain this topic a lot in detail, because many of our influencers have done their part on teaching the basics of liquidity. So I will not be dry running you through the entire basics of liquidity, as assuming that most of you already know the basics of liquidity. I'll just in short summarize it for you. So what first of all is liquidity? Liquidity means simply liquidating someone. Yes, liquidity means liquidating someone, liquidating them out of their positions. In another words, you can say that liquidity is equal to SL hunting, stop loss hunting. Okay. Now what we are going to do is micro simplified. We are going to go in the very depth of liquidity at such a place that after this video you will not want to see any other video on liquidity. You will not require to see any other video on liquidity. This is your final destination for liquidity, and after this you will not require any other video on liquidity. So let's read what I have written over here. Everyone knows what liquidity is, but very few know what it consists of. Very few know that what exactly liquidity is. Okay, everyone knows, everyone nowadays are saying liquidity hunt, stop loss hunt. Bro, what the hell do you mean by liquidity? Explain me that. Come on, go explain me liquidity. And when you say that, the majority of the people say that this is a price, this level over here is liquidity, it is hunt, now it will fall below. Bro, seriously? That's how you understand markets? That's seriously rubbish. Then in what will you do in such a market? Tell me, where does the liquidity lie? You'll say over here, I'll say that liquidity lies over here also, here also, here also. Then liquidity lies here also, here also, here also, here also, here also. So means like you have infinite levels. You just cannot stop thinking how many levels you have. Actually, what problem that most of traders face while trading liquidity is they don't know that where to use the liquidity, when to use the liquidity. It is not that you draw random levels on the chart, and once they get hit, once they get hit, you say that liquidity is swept. No, it's not like that. So the concept behind liquidity is that it sums up to only one thing: orders. Liquidity, SL hunting, everything, the whole market works on this: orders. You have to understand that where are the orders getting placed. So now what liquidity suggests is this: you have seen that a price makes a certain high and then makes a low. Okay, for example. Now what does liquidity say is that above this high there are orders, above this low there are orders. Okay, I have covered this topic in my previous video also in big players theory, but let's see it again, because this is an entire video based on liquidity, and this you are going to master liquidity itself. And the big players theory is a special strategy for gold only. This you can use it everywhere and anywhere. So now let's see what has happened over here. You call this as liquidity, this as liquidity. We have this point also, this point also, we have this point also, this one also, this one also, this one also. Now how will you trade? And you will say that this liquidity and you will say that right now this liquidity is hunt over here. Okay, fine. Now tell me that how will you trade? This liquidity is hunt. Okay, you say that this liquidity is hunt. You will sell over here. Okay, it will come here. Now what? Now this liquidity is hunt. Now you will buy over here. You will buy. This liquidity is hunt. Now what? It will come here. Oh, bro. Does it work like this? Does the markets work like this? You'll make a fool of yourself if you keep doing this, bro. So we all know that we are making mistakes somehow, somewhere. Now let's see that what we are doing wrong with liquidity. Liquidity in itself is a very basic topic, but today what I'm going to teach you is an advanced part of liquidity. That is why I have written liquidity micro simplified. So we are going to learn another confluence that goes with liquidity, which makes you the master. Okay, now let's read the next part. And even fewer know when and where to use it, and when and where will it not work correctly. This is very important. You should know that when will liquidity work in your favor and when it will not work in your favor correctly. It is very key, because if you know that at this particular level liquidity is going to get hunt, but you see that in this particular case I know that due to my other confluence, which I'm going to show you ahead in the video, even if liquidity gets hunt, we can get a double liquidity hunt. What I mean by double liquidity hunt is, wait, I'll explain you this properly. This is a very important topic, guys. You focus on this. Imagine that this is the price right now, okay? And just imagine that this is the liquidity level. Now when you come and hit this, now how do you know that this was a liquidity sweep? Will go long of it. It can be that this level is liquidity sweep and then we'll fall. Right, correct. So this means that the whole game of liquidity was fake, correct? Okay, no, that's not the case. There are another confluences which I am going to show you. One more confluence which I am going to show you, that will tell you that whether this was a real liquidity hunt or a fake liquidity hunt. Okay, so that we are going to discuss further in the video. That is an advanced liquidity topic. Okay, advanced liquidity topic. First of all, I think that we'll cover this somewhere in another video. We'll just give a basic overview of it at the end of the video. Let's see how it works. Okay, so till then let's go back to our liquidity. Now here I've written, if you cannot see the liquidity, then you are the liquidity. What does it mean? If you correctly don't know what liquidity is, where it lies, then chances are that you are the liquidity. Because see, a very big player, a very well renowned person, maybe you guys know him or you don't know him, I don't know, but he's a very famous personality. He's not a typical influencer. The people I usually learn from are very less on social media. So he has said that majority of the times the mistake that we make is that we enter where the retailers have maximum of entries. So what happens is that wherever the retailers have maximum of entries on this breakout, and what we do is after this breakout we keep a stop loss over here. What does the big players do is that they will enter at their stop loss. They will enter where the retailers keep the stop losses. Where do the retailers keep the stop losses? At 1 or 2 tick above from the high, 1 or 2 tick below from the high, or at key levels such as this zone over here. What they will do is they will enter sells over here. You have entered over here, your stop loss is over here, price will come. Oh, it waked me out, so sad. True. Okay, that's true that you have been waked out because you did not know what happened over here. Okay, so Coming back, let's move on to the chart to see some basic liquidities. First of all, explaining you that okay, liquidity is just order. Liquidity is nothing but orders, where orders lie. This is liquidity. Liquidity is simply where do the orders lie. That is it. Now where do the orders lie? Where do they lie? As I said, the big players told us that the orders lie, where I'll increase the size, that the orders lie below the low and above the high after the entry is triggered. Wait, I'll show you guys what I exactly mean is, see, yeah, a perfect example is over here. Over here we see that this is a very good level, okay, this is a very good level over here. What happened? Price broke above it, price gave closing, okay, retailers enter over here, retailers keep their stop loss over here, or maybe over here, okay, or maybe over here, okay. Seeing these three locations we keep our stop loss and whatever is the take profit, okay. Now what price did? Price went till here, removed everyone, and then it rallied up. Why did this happen? Why did this happen? Can anyone tell me? The simple matter of fact that you ignored liquidity. You ignored the resting orders lying over here. See, trading cannot be done on one time frame. You ignored the orders over here on the 4 hour. Now what could have been done? Okay, in this scenario, what could have been done? Your result was hunt over here. What I'm trying to explain you is very key, guys. Understand it properly. Now here, the thing that I was telling you, the very important confluence with liquidity is volume. Volume is the key to success in trading. Yes, boys, this is it. Volume is the key to success. If you guys want to understand volume properly, see the previous video that I've uploaded. On that video I have talked in depth about volume. For now I'm just showing you guys on a trade what happened, okay. Here breakout came, breakout candle, here is the breakout candle. Volume is constantly dropping, sorry, my bad. Volume is constantly dropping. This price is going up, breakout came. What made you enter over here? There was no reason to enter. Now later you stay in the trade and you see what happened, okay. Now this you could say that okay, this you could say that this is a legit breakout. Why isn't it a legit breakout? Why isn't it a legit breakdown? Because you see that there is liquidity lying over here, and once liquidity is hunt, at that moment you need to be very careful about the volume. If you see a very huge candle with a very huge volume spike, okay, a very huge volume spike, chances are that you have been hunted. Means the big players are trying to hunt you, because such moves come very rarely. Such moves after this big move, see how long did it consolidate, and then it liquidity, and then it also removed the liquidity. See, it removed the liquidity, this liquidity actually, this one, before moving up. Okay, so that is how it works. I have shown you. Okay, and the matter of fact that this order went without volume. How did such less volume cause such a big candle? That was because of this volume over here. I had told you this in the previous video in volume also, that big players don't make their orders again and again. They make their orders over here. They make their orders on the bottom. That is where volume will show you. You see the volume over here, see how high it is. It is not so high in the entire chart over here, see. This is a simple indication that big players have bought. Even if you sold on this breakout over here, it is a simple sign to close it over here and go long. This level has been hunted. That's how you use liquidity. That is how your liquidity is used. Now the key is to use liquidity with volume. At key levels, at key structures, you look for volume along with liquidity. Now see, in this case over here, I'll show you. In this case, this was the level. Okay, now on this breakout, just see the volume. Just see the volume. It is greater than last 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, which is 4, 8, 12, 16, greater than last 16 hours, and out of that more 2 are buying. So see, when you use volume, you need to calculate the volume also. Like for example, in let's catch a period from here. Okay, like for example this. So you need to see how much this volume is. For example, see here it is shown 132k. Okay, 132k. Over here you can see next to this volume indicator, see it shows you 173k up there. The 164 is k is the average which I have put on for the volume. Okay, you can put that on. I'll show you the settings. See this volume moving average, that shows you the average volume there should be. So here you can see 163k buying, 250k buying, 130k buying, 146k selling. So what you have to do is subtract 146 out of these three. These buying, subtract this, these buying, subtract this, these buying, subtract this, then you will get the total. Then you will come to know what is happening. There are more of sellers or more of buyers, and a shortcut to this is move to the daily time frame. Move to the daily time frame. There you can see the total. That's it. Mark the zone. Means for example, if you want to calculate that what happened from here to here, so make a zone. Move on to the higher time frame, check your zone. It is these two candles. Okay, so what happened overall over here? It was 919k buying, and over here it was 887k buying. That is how you see. I am very good at volume analysis. What I have taught on this channel currently about volume analysis is just the tip of the iceberg. Volume analysis is the key. It will lead you to success. So along with liquidity, keep it together. Now let's move on to the 1 hour. Gold actually is not having any structure right now over here. Let's go to the previous charts. Okay, here one more beautiful example with us. Boom, liquidity over here. We got liquidity. Now what happened? Price came, went up, large buying over here. Then what happened? It was selling, but the volume is decreasing. Large buying over here, selling, but the volume is decreasing. Now this buying came. This buying did not come with a lot of volume because the orders are already accumulated over here. They don't want to show you now to the retailers. See, there are retail users also who use volume, but they will work in such a way that the retailers will not even come to know. Retailers will just forget about these buyings, and they will say that this buying is less than the selling, so this is not strong. Bullshit. You just ignored these buying orders over here. So this much buying caused such a big move, and actually you could have entered here also. after knowing this much of buying. That is how it works, boys. So liquidity at key levels combined with volume is the key. You can see it went exponential. Okay, anyways, that is all up to you to put the target and stop loss. Let's look for another example. See, this is on the 4-hour also. The same thing happened on the 4-hour also. Okay, beautiful. Now see, why didn't it happen over here? Why didn't, after this liquidity was hunt, why didn't it rally up? You see this volume over here, selling volume. You see the buying volume decreased so much, and there was no previous buying volume at all. See, this was all selling volume only. This will also be selling volume only if we'll go on deep. Let's check it out. See, it was selling volume only. Everything was selling volume only. Okay, so this was it. Now why that happened? Because the volume decreased a lot, and there was no previous volume also in buying. That told us that this liquidity hunt is not that real, is not that good, is not that strong liquidity hunt. We knew it because the volume showed us. Then what happened? As I told you previously on the board where we learned double liquidity hunt. What happened? The price went up, hit the stop loss of the sellers over here, invited the buyers of stop loss hunting. Then what it did? See, wait, we'll make positions so we know. First of all, it invited all the liquidity traders also over here, who keeps their stop loss over here and targets or whatever they want. They keep the stop losses over here. Now what happened next is price said, oh, okay, they will target the next jaw of liquidity. Okay, so maybe this was their position. Now what price says? No, not that soon. We did not have volume together. Price came down, price hit the stop losses. The stop losses were over here. Okay, these were hit over here. Now let's remove this one. This time it went with the volume. Yes, if you will go on the smaller time frames, you can see, yeah, we had buying. The selling was great. Okay, and this will also not be selling, as I told you, as I showed you for here. That was not buying. The same way, this is also not selling. You can see a large wick over here. So that is how you read volume analysis. It will take time. See, this was such a huge candle, but the volume is not that great. You see, the volume is even less than this candle. This is not even half of that size. Then you see this beautiful candle. You see the selling pressure decrease. This liquidity has been hunt. That is how you do. So combine liquidity with volume and you'll make wonders, boys. That is all that I wanted to tell you about liquidity. The advanced topic was liquidity with volume only. So I'll be covering more of advanced liquidity and volume topics later. More of volume topics, because volume is the key to success, boys, in trading. Here also you can for current, let's do a short analysis for current markets. See, here there is one more scam, liquidity. Here you can see selling pressure. Okay, move on to the smaller time frames. Boom, buying pressure. See, that's it. That's how it works. Okay, boys, so hope that you boys understood this topic. I wanted to share with you all that I have a Telegram group on which I upload trade signals. We have been profitable over there, and we are performing really good. So you can join that signal group. Link is in description. the main thing is, don't join it for trading signals. Join it for the knowledge I share over there. You will get a lot of knowledge. You will get analysis. You will get knowledge apart from trading also, related to life, related to different various lessons. So capitalize of it. Join my Telegram group. Thank you. FX Mac on the site.